Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Here we are. Oh, by the way, today I am going to be drinking this at the beginning of the show. It's a bourbon barrel quad by Boulevard. Boulevard makes some really good beers. They really do.
I've got about a half a glass of bourbon.
That'll be gone in about a half an hour.
Not even.
I should probably give people some resolution. By the way, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your grandma. The turd in the background says, "Welcome back to the Straight Red Card. We are Jesse marching on together with another American at Leeds. Shit is dope. Oh, what a camp. It was like watching an ant jerk off. What a sight to be seen." I think he might have been reading one of my Twitters where I said, it's like looking at an anthill, that game, and looking all the ants scurrying around on an anthill, and you're like, that looks like chaos. And, you know, maybe there's something happening there that I can't figure out, but that looks like chaos. And that game looked like chaos. I had other metaphors as well, not just the anthill. But, hey, remember when my car got stuck?
Yeah.
So I got this locksmith to come up, and he had an accent, a very, an accent I could tell where generally what it was, but I didn't want to be presumptuous. So I said, he got me in my car, by the way, and I drove home after work. So that was good. But I said, oh, so, where is your family from originally? He said, oh, I'm from Israel. And I said, oh, okay. He's like, oh, I was hoping you didn't notice my accent. And I said, it's not a big deal, dude. When I came to this country, I had an accent too. It's not a biggie. Might go away, might not. But either way, I think you're going to be fine. And he's like, oh, what country you come from? I said, oh, I was mostly raised in Germany. He said, oh. And he said, oh, well, no hard feelings. No hard feelings. He said, no hard feelings. I said, well, yeah, I would hope not. He's like, yeah, I mean, you weren't alive. And I said, no, I certainly wasn't. So, but I loved how he said that. Oh, no hard feelings.
Get out of my car.
I'm relocking your car, asshole. Yeah. You a fucking German.
Get another one. The worst Jewish or Israeli accents possible.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't even trying. So there was that, and so that went well. I mean, I got my car back, and that was fantastic. But I did want to also say that I got the FIFA. Both of us now have FIFA 23, and I played my first game tonight as PSG versus Liverpool. And the way the game starts, it starts you out at the lowest absolute level. Right. And as the game goes on, the game determines how good you are, and it ups the level as you go. But I scored 2 goals literally within 2 minutes because it's on the lowest level, which is amateur, I guess. So they're like,
goals, by the way.
No goals. I mean, they were super easy. Messi to Mbappe. Easy goals.
So did they start with me? Or did they start with PSG?
They started me with it. Yeah. I either could do Mbappe's team or the chick that plays for PSG's women's team, who I don't know.
So that's the same setup for when you're waiting for the game to fully load up, because it's not like insert disc, play game.
No,
now it's insert disc, gotta wait for that thing to download.
Yep. And so they moved me up to the next level, which is semi-pro. Scored another goal, so they moved me up to pro, and then I scored another goal, and so they moved me up to world class. And then Liverpool scored 3 goals on me in the second half. So I won 4-3, but they recommended after the game that I play world class. And I'm like, really? I just got my ass kicked in the fucking second half, 3-0. I know I scored 4 goals, but I think professional is about where I need to start, then work my way up to world class. So there's that. So when is that starting, Brett? When are we going to
say if you start off at world class, you'll quickly find yourself on world stars. So
world stars? Is that another level?
I don't know when it's going to start. No, it's not. I don't know when it's going to start. I got it pulled up. I have we've got one person from Twitter saying they want to play, but nobody else has DM'd us. Taking this as a hint, guys.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to play us because we're really good.
Probably.
No one likes to be beat by a bunch of loudmouth fucking guys on a talk
while
show.
I was waiting for the game to download, I was going through all the different just the different plays and buttons that you can, all the buttons and the different scenarios. Like if you're in the attack, here's what you can do different tactics. On top of that, here's some more advanced type of passing. Hold Y while you tap B 7 times while also to the left simultaneously to your right.
I'm not doing any of that shit.
I imagine 90% of the players don't actually know how to do 90% of the shit on the game. And it's just like the esports players are like, oh, this is simple.
It makes it way too complicated. You start pulling off all those little fucking tricks. So, I'll just pass on that. All right, let's start the show. Do we have any? Here we go. Jose Reyes already popped up.
Appreciate it, my man.
Double man kisses, I guess. Was that what that was? All right. To you, Jose, but from a distance and through a screen.
It was better than going for a third one afterwards.
Nothing, man love about that. But, all right. So, and if I'm not having any problem with that, actually. So my last chat was about being a diehard fan. If you watched last game all the way, you've made it. Anyhow, at a birthday party on a Monday night, so pray for my liver and work day. Your liver.
I was going to say, I'm praying for your work day more so than your liver.
I think your liver, from one night's going to be okay. But, don't overdo it too much. Don't pass out or anything like that, or end up praying to the porcelain gods.
Been there, did that.
Yeah, we've all done that. I haven't done it for so long. College, I think was the last time I fucking puked, honestly, from drinking.
Once since college, but
yeah, that was it for me. And it's really hard to get me there. Like, I've got to overdo it in about like an hour's worth of time. I got to pound down shit so fast that I actually get physically ill. What counsel do you have? What do we have?
So we have the Xbox One. We do not have the Series. So this is what's kind of messed up in my opinion. Not messed up, I guess, but it sucks either way. So if you have the Xbox One series, just straight, because there's an Xbox One X and S, and then there's a Series X and a Series S. And those are the newest ones. The newest ones plus PC and PlayStation 5 are all synced together to play. The Xbox One series and then PS4 are able to play together.
They get the fist fuck.
Well, Chris, Gary, you said you have a PlayStation. Do you have a 4 or a 5? Because if you have a 4, you can play with us. But that means you have to also purchase it on the 4. So,
right on. All right, let's take the next message. Oh, I'll turn on comments. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah,
I'll turn them on.
Jumping real back. What the fuck language am I speaking there? Jumping back further into the chat. There's one because we ran it a little late.
Okay.
Derek wanted me to pull up a tweet that he wrote.
Oh,
we have Chris Gary saying late.
Who's? Oh yeah, we were
Derek's
late by a minute.
computer has herpes again.
No, this is the good one. This is the super fast one. The other one, I haven't opened the other one in a few days. I will when I next need to go watch some porn, but right now it's off to the side. Yes.
BMR, PlayStation, in your opinion, might be greater than Xbox, but PC Master Race all the way. I'll take it on the PC all day long. I just couldn't do it on PC because Derek has the Xbox One X, and we couldn't cross-platform there.
Just to be clear, I haven't played FIFA 23 ever. This is my first time playing it, and I haven't played FIFA in general since I think FIFA 19 was the last time I played the series.
FIFA 18 or FIFA 19 was my last one. I was much more of a Pro Evo guy, and having played my little small bout of FIFA, I kind of wish we kind of went the Pro Evo route. It'll grow on me, and I'll have fun regardless. It doesn't matter.
I get the Pro Evo's fast and shit, but this has actually seemed a little bit more realistic to me because football isn't like all messed out like 100% of the time the whole game. Now, our game was versus Colombia, but that's not a reflection of real soccer. Like, I'm not even sure if you can categorize that game as soccer or football.
I think the way I worded it at the very end of a game on a tweet, I said, well, that certainly was a 90-minute game.
Yeah, that's about all you can say, really.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, it was poor. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. Adam Wiggins.
About 55 minutes.
Well, we'll try not to wait that long. Adam Wiggins says, we want more hacksaw. Well, he's got his own channel.
Okay, so somebody commented on our last show with him, saying that he's been a hack for like decades over in the San Diego area, making shit up. And he was kind of surprised that he wasn't retired at this point. You know, still out there making shit up, apparently.
I hate to say he looks like he should be retired, but he kind of does. That Wilford Brimley motherfucking. That's what he looks like.
I gotta say, man, if that's his shtick at this point, then he should just be laying it on super thick. I mean, he laid it on pretty thick that episode, but
so he's been around. He's been around that long, and he's only getting those few views.
Well, he does. Apparently, he does football, like college football. I guess. I think. Maybe Chargers. Maybe I think it's Chargers. He covers Chargers.
I hope he does less and less U.S. soccer because that's not really his thing.
No, and it's possible that the YouTube is his like second or third platform that he's on. Maybe he's on Sirius XM. Maybe he's on just a podcast. I don't know, or maybe he's on local radio. Who knows? But maybe that's just sort of like a secondary platform.
No way can that guy be on local radio. There is no way he is. I
don't know if this is a reference to it, but man, you put people to sleep as they're driving home.
Oh, does he? Yeah, I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would. Hey, shout out to Tax Beard. I like that it's getting full and vivacious. That's nice. I like to see that he's letting it grow out. Hey, another shout out we missed earlier in another show was Zimmerman blaming Julian Gressel for the gap in the wall.
No,
we didn't mention it at all. But Zimmerman actually looked at Gressel and blamed him for the gap in the wall. Yeah,
no.
He did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He fucking looked him in the eye and said, "What are you doing? What were you doing? Well, what were you doing, dumbass?"
He jumped to the right. He's supposed to jump to the left with me.
Cock Zucker. Yes, we know what you're trying to get out there. Oh, thank you for the $1.99. Hacksaw actually has an impressive resume in what, 70s porn? I don't know.
He's got the mustache for it.
He does. I'm sure it was thinner.
What area of the world is Cock Zucker from? I mean, Zucker would be more of kind of, I guess, German to an extent, don't you think?
It would, but
Cock could be. I guess it could be a refugee portion of Germany.
It could be. Yeah, there's really not a lot of
people
in the world, so that's the tough one to place, really.
Kazakhstan, like Mongolian.
Also, U.S. soccer reporting the Bielsa thing. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't think that's happening. I really don't see any way that's going to happen. First of all, he doesn't speak English at all. I mean, not much. Doesn't do interviews in English. And when you're the manager of the United States men's national team, you have to sort of be the face of the team, unless U.S. soccer want to go a totally different route and have JT Batson do the speaking and being the face, or Cindy Parlow Cone, if she could be the face, I guess, of U.S. soccer.
Wait, are you saying the Us are contagious now?
They are. Because, the weird thing about it is...
You can't get it through watching videos, right?
Well, Batson's affliction is kind of like, that's his. Hers are more like this. And then we went to the refrigerator, and then we grabbed the ketchup.
So what you're saying is it sounds like my 4-year-old daughter, huh?
Kind of like that. Yes. And then we put the ketchup on my titties. Yeah, something like that. That's hers are longer very long, well pronounced.
Ketchup, huh?
I don't know. People like ketchup. So what's that movie with shit? I forgot his name already. God damn it. Fuck it. I'm not even going to go. There was a movie where
I want you guys to try to figure it out. I want you guys to try to figure it out based off of ketchup and titties. Go.
No, here's the famous scene. The famous scene is he takes shit out of the fridge and makes the girl taste it. All the shit out of the fridge, like different flavors, blah blah. It's a sort of
it's a theme that's
mild,
played in a lot of movies.
sort of movie. Not with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
It was a guy who played in a wrestling movie. You know,
Mickey
sort
Rourke?
of a comeback. Mickey Rourke was in the movie. Yes, Mickey Rourke. And he was, I don't remember what the name of the movie was, but, you know, in high school, it was a big date movie, right? 9.5 weeks. Thank you, Sabasti is, dude.
The Notebook.
Sabasti, are we like connected somehow mentally? Like everything I can't remember, you do. It's crazy. Nate Kuntz. I'm going with Kuntz. $9.99. Thank you, sir. Praying for a complete clean house at USSF. It's probably not going to happen. By the way, thank you guys for my after workout entertainment. Hey, our pleasure, Nate. Our pleasure.
I tend to feel like I need to take a shower after watching us too. So
I think he's saying he listens to it while he's working out. So you're probably right. He showers afterwards. But Nate, unfortunately, you're not going to get a complete clean house because if you noticed in Cindy Carlo Cohn's replies as well as Batson's replies to questions, they both were basically saying that both McBride and Ernie left this completely awesome, sophisticated team behind that we can go many months without Ernie or replacing Ernie because they have built such a stellar, sophisticated team. That's what they're saying.
Beautiful team.
It's beautiful. It's big league.
It's huge.
All right. It's huge.
Huge and beautiful.
So that's what they were saying. We were going to cover that actually. I think we have Cindy Carlo Cohn.
Into that since you basically jumped into it.
Yeah, Batson and Cohn were all about being sophisticated during this interview. We're not going to play the part from 4:15. If you want to watch it yourself, you can. From 4:15 to 5:07, Cindy, that's 52 seconds, said 10 times. Long. And even I think Tact mentioned it. He's like, I was listening to it in my car on the way to wherever practice or whatever his job. He's like, it was driving me nuts. And I was like, yes, it was driving me nuts too. All right. So here is Batson saying how sophisticated U.S. soccer is.
The team at U.S. Soccer is, we have a sophisticated leadership team broadly. And
that's enough.
Broadly.
He still got two us in there during that.
There's another thing that was in there too. Not just an but it was like a.
You think he's at a hotel somewhere? I think he's at a hotel.
I think it's his house.
Nah, that looks like a hotel.
Of course, it's a hotel.
Okay, I was pretty sure that was a
sophisticated leadership team of our sporting department, and so I'm confident that we can move forward positively on all of these fronts.
Okay, that's enough of that. He does talk with his hands a lot for a guy that's not Italian.
And I will say a lot of those that sound like right there in this last little segment were actually ims. And it kind of sounded like an though. I just want to make sure everybody else didn't think that either.
Yeah, I just, I've researched this guy and I just still not sure how he got this job. I really am not. Timbo Slice, guys, I will be in Bloomington on Wednesday the 7th for the IU basketball game. What restaurant should I go to before the game? Michael's Uptown. Very simple. Michael's Uptown is the best restaurant in Bloomington. And if you go in there, Timbo, and you say, I need to talk to Michael. I want to talk to Michael and let him know that I know Derek Ritchie is. You might get free drinks. Honestly. Or
you should just specify that. Hey, Mike. Derek told me to tell you that you owe me free drinks.
Something like that. But you're gonna have to say Derek Ritchie, otherwise it's not gonna happen. You can't say the straight red card. Although Michael does know about the show, but that might go right over his head. He's a busy dude running a restaurant. So, but great guy, huge
Derek,
soccer fan.
your friend Derek Ritchie suggested your place before the IU game. So here I am. I'm awfully parched. I'm thirsty. It's been a long
Spending money,
walk.
yes. So yeah, that one is good. I'm trying to think of any others, Brad. I mean, the Irish Lion used to be really good. The food last time I was there was not.
I'm worthless to ask because I haven't been back haven't really been back for like a decade and a half.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when I was there, I was a college student eating all the garbage college shit. So not garbage, but I mean like the garbage food that college people eat.
But certainly you went to the Irish Lion.
No.
You've never gone to the Irish Lion?
Where's the place that you and I went to?
Irish Lion.
Okay, there we go. Yes, I've been there once.
Or was it Crazy Horse? We might have been there. I think it could have been Crazy Horse. Yeah, because it was all along that strip. That's back when I was driving the Lexus. Hell yeah. All right. And then if we move on to Cindy Cohn, she's on the sophistication trail as well.
Here, at what point? What's the actual second?
1946.
Oh, okay, there we go.
All right.
Challenges and opportunities that we face.
Jizz.
So we're pretty good at multitasking.
Okay, rewind that. Did she just say
wow,
jizz?
that was perfect.
Okay, 9:45. See if you can pull that off again. All right, here we go.
Challenges and opportunities that we face. So we're pretty good at multitasking. We have a very sophisticated staff, and we have a supportive board and membership. I'm very confident in our ability to move forward on all the priorities that you mentioned and others.
Believe me, we did not have that planned at all. We did not plan that. We did not know that it was going to come out like that. So jizz and sophistication. Sophisticatedly jizz. Oh boy, God, that was just weird. I did not expect that to happen.
All right, click and jizz, and I'm like, whoa. Shit, what was that?
All right. I think I
didn't even hear when she said I was laughing so much.
No,
and what word was she saying where she said that?
I don't know. Let's go back a little and see what the real word she was trying to say was.
And we have a supportive board and membership. I'm very confident in our ability to move.
Oh,
44.
45. Okay,
so go 43 or something. Or 42.
No, I agree. I think we've shown in the past with different challenges and
challenges.
Challenges.
She really stuck the landing on the jizz part, though, man.
Yeah, she hung on the jizz part a long time. The challenges.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. Listen, we're not trying to make fun of Cindy and Jizz at all. So
that was a happy coincidence.
That was just a coincidence. Trust me. Well, you did not mean to do that. So the one thing, we may be critical of U.S. soccer, but we don't want to put words in her mouth or anything else.
You know what the funny thing is, Derek?
Yeah.
I had a coworker today come up to me. I'm putting this giant projector
up your ass?
Yes, exactly. That's where it's got to go. But he's like, hey, so did I hear right? Projector screen. I don't know why. I got stuck on fucking screen. But,
yeah.
He goes, hey, did I hear correctly that you have a soccer podcast? And he's a soccer fan. He's a Man United fan and watches the U.S. men's national team. Right. So I started laughing. And I go, yeah, it's called the Straight Red Card. But it's not safe for work, so don't watch it at work.
Don't watch it
or around children. Don't do that either.
Dude, remember the guy that used to watch it around children?
Yeah.
And he's like,
I gotta put my headphones on now.
He's like, the first few months of your show was relatively clean, but it's getting pretty dirty, so I cannot no longer watch it around my 5-year-old daughter. Yeah.
It started clicking on me on my ride home. I'm like sitting there going, have I said any stories really about my work?
No.
Not really.
For the most part.
I can think of one story, and that's it. And that wasn't a bad story by any means.
Yeah. And I don't talk about work at all. So, we're all good to go there. Okay. So we talked about Bielsa.
Let's stick with U.S. soccer.
Okay. We want to do more of that.
Their website, not the website, sorry, the YouTube presence.
Oh my God. All of a sudden out of nowhere.
Are
they listening to us?
This is from 4 days ago. 4 days. Watch this. Ready?
Bam, 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 bam. Now
that's like 20, 24 videos right there in 4 days.
The sound quality for all the post-match and pre-match conferences, like I don't know how they didn't figure this out from the earlier ones. The sound is garbage. Like you can boost it to 100 and you can still barely hear the answers to the questions. You can hear the press and the media just fine, but the answers.
They get you 20 video in there. Man.
Like, how hard is it for them to buy some software and boost the volume of the responses?
Drop $100 or $200. I mentioned this before the show. I'm surprised we didn't bring it up during the Jizz comment. But is it too much to ask for the heads of U.S. Soccer who are going to be doing these press conferences to have a more high-definition camera and an actual fucking microphone that works?
A better fucking laptop? I mean, honestly.
External. Keep it external. Fucking who cares?
Look at the quality of this, okay, compared to what they did or what they have, what Batson had and what Cindy Barlow-Cohn had. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Like, they can't give them better laptops than that. Rogelio, hey buddy. I guess we ran into each other on another show a while back. Was it Pete's or Tex or I can't even remember. Jason Davis's? I can't remember exactly, Mr. Derek Ritchie. I can barely hear what they say in the pressers, even at 100 high volume. Maybe they don't want us to hear it, but I have to say, you would think after a few press conferences, they would figure out that the volume they have set at is horrible and fix it for the next one, but they don't. And so we've got all these press conferences with the coaches and the players, and we can't hear dick diddly do. Nothing, squat, crap. And, at some point I'm just like, I can't hear this over my goddamn heater going off so I'm not watching it. And maybe that's what they want. So there you go. Nate Gontz says $90 tickets, $10.99 mic. Yeah, it's pathetic. And like I said, you can fix that afterwards actually too. It's just a little software called a volume boost. And you can take something from 100 to almost up to 300% and correct the problem before you post it on your YouTube page. How hard is that? It's not hard. I mean, they spend little. I'm giving them credit for posting all of it now.
Hey,
because they didn't do it before.
Step in the right direction. That's all it is.
Start
flooding us with content. You'll get more people keeping an eye on it. That's how you build culture.
Well, I don't know if you can't hear it.
Exactly. Wait, one step at a time, Derek. As BMR says, I'm sorry, but U.S. Soccer is a nonprofit.
Yeah, right.
I think officially they are, but
no, they are. I think they're a 401c. I believe
it's like Forrest Gump, and that's all I've got to say about that.
What part of Forrest Gump?
When he's giving a speech over in D.C. and the guys, the hippies all tear apart the microphone stuff. Not the hippies, the military dude rips out all the microphone stuff, and he's just talking, but nobody can hear them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're like, speak up, I can't hear you. And then they finally plug in. And he goes, "That's all I got to say about that." And the guy's like, "That was beautiful, man."
I don't remember that part. Anyhow, that's me. 501c3. You're probably correct, Big Hairy Jake. You're probably correct. Why would I say 401c? I might have said, I probably did. Okay, so that's the U.S. Soccer, and they're hiring, by the way, Sportsology. And Mike, whatever his name is.
Wazowski. Oh, no.
No, Mike something. Anyhow, he's really good, I guess. Mike Ford. He's been around the block. He works with like the Niners and a bunch of professional NFL teams.
Oh, no, sorry.
Some MLS teams as well. So I guess, the only thing I don't like about this whole Mike Ford guy is he's one of those guys that's a speaker. He's on a speakers bureau. If you look him up, he's one of those guys that does speaking engagements, that talks to people about how
Maybe
they can
give JT some pointers. We're being
a
little hard.
On speaking, certainly, I'm sure he's a better speaker than Batson. That's not going to take much. I guess what I'm saying is I'm kind of sick of the speakers bureau thing. Like all these companies, and I'm guilty of it. I work for the Hope Foundation. We had 13, 14 people that we had going around to school districts and schools giving presentations on how to build a professional learning community in your school. I get it. And that was really hot at the time because and we came up with it, right?
You got awfully bothered by it too, didn't you?
I didn't at the time. I was young, and I didn't really think about it so much. And but I look at the list of people that are in the speakers bureau, and it kind of makes me want to vomit in my mouth a little, because so many of those guys are like, they're silver spooners, Now the guys that aren't, I have no problem with. Guys that have like come from nothing and made a success of themselves, whatever. That's nice. It's a good story. But all the Yale and Harvard and Columbia guys, I'm kind of getting a little nauseous listening to those fucking silver spoon pricks tell me about life.
I wasn't even going to go here yet, but I wanted to, okay, this is a perfectly change to the new topic.
Okay.
So I was BMR does bring up leads with the McKinney Adams interview. That would have been a great one to bring up, but you're bringing up this silver spoon nonsense.
Yeah,
this is going to be a fun breakaway to talk about here.
All right. We shall see. Andrew Wisnowski.
He is him sports lawyer.
Where from, though?
Where from? No idea.
Well, because, listen, a lot of people got their Harvard law degree or whatever. That's great. But not everybody gets a law degree from Harvard. Some guys go to small colleges to get their degree.
I'm just referring to the silver spoon talk, and then we can read his tweet and go from there.
Yeah, because we don't know.
I'll lead the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy's got a silver spoon at all. The bad Wrexham pro-rel tweet going around is, among other things, a great example of why Twitter blue and any rando being able to buy verification is bad. Why? Can you explain this to me, Brett?
Yeah, so there are a select group of people, and this is a kind of a minority, that think that blue check mark gives them authority on Twitter.
Ah, okay.
It is a stance many take, and then once Elon stripped them of the blue check mark and opened it up, they got some people got severely butthurt. And I do want to bring this up because I want to bring up what Alexi was nice enough to quote tweet the tweet he's referring to, because he talks about he doesn't want to quote tweet him or retweet him because he doesn't want to give him any more of a soapbox to stand on here.
Okay.
So here's the tweet in question. I don't know if you want to. Do you want to read Alexi's? Oh, let's read the
sure.
First. Yes, here we go.
Sure. So what? You wanted me to read Kartik first?
Yeah. This is the tweet in question.
So just to be open about it, we know Kartik, and I certainly have kept in touch with him a little bit over the years. Not much, but we did meet him in person, actually, at the Indy 11 announcement. So here we go. Former Democratic operative. I did not know that about him.
World Soccer Talk, senior writer, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, he's an alright guy. What so many MLS fans don't get is, even if they are the top league in the world in terms of quality of soccer, the lack of authenticity, edginess, story building, community clubs, etc., will always undermine its potential. The sport is about so much more than what's on the field. Well, that's true. It is. I mean, there's stories. That's why people are interested in. I watched the Wrexham game. Did you? I did. No. I admit it. I watched it.
No.
Why? Ryan Reynolds. I wanted his team to do well.
Yeah.
I like the sort of fairy tale. Although, I'd have not watched his little soccer series. I don't watch any of that. But Wrexham, I think, is the lowest team still left in the FA Cup. So I'd watch it. I don't care what lower division team it was that was still left. I would have watched it, period. Because to me, I'm an underdog guy. I'm rooting for the underdog. So unless it's against Fulham, then fuck off.
Yeah. So this is the tweet that Andrew's talking about why the pro-rel tweet that's going around is a great example why Twitter blue, which basically means that you can go on and you can just pay $7 a month for a blue check mark at this point. And that's going to eventually, the idea is that's supposed to grant you other things you can do. Like they want to go into the whole, like, competing with YouTube with Twitter. like being able to post videos and that type of shit.
Okay.
And then any rando being able to buy verification is bad. Basically
What?
saying that
The rest of you shouldn't be able to do it.
So we'll come back to Lawless's tweet here, but here's my response because this is fun. You go, in my opinion, the only people who care about people's verification status are the verified. Bad takes are bad takes, regardless of whether you have or don't have a blue mark next to your name. But you're right. We need to make sure we keep the undesirables out of the good old boy club.
Oh, good comeback.
Indeed. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I agree, dude. That now that I understand what he was saying, because listen, I just joined Twitter a month ago, so I don't know what all this blue check shit's about, or most of what's going on at Twitter still baffles me. So, that the whole idea that somebody else can for $7 a month purchase their blue check. Oh God, it should be at least $70 a month.
Undesirable. Get out of here.
Should be $700 a month, really. I think personally.
Indeed.
What a dick. All right, so he gets a dick. He gets a dick award. No, what you don't get is how disrespectful, sanctimonious this is to MLS fans. Despite only 27 years old, there's plenty of authentic history, passion, stories, community, and connection in fan base. You don't like MLS structure, I get it, but that's no reason to disparage MLS fans. Wow. I mean, this is Alexi and Kartik, who have known each other for a long time, going head to head.
I'm okay with that response, quite frankly.
I am too. It's fine.
To Kartik's point, obviously Wrexham, who's been around for like 158 years or whatever, is going to have more drama and joyous moments, going up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, hell, Sunderland was down to like what, League One for a while there.
Yeah,
I mean they were an EPL regular, mid-table regular as far as I recall.
A long time. Yeah, my whole younger years, Sunderland was right there.
I mean, so I guess the idea is that the drama that they go through, and then the joyous moments that they are being promoted back up to the big boys, will outweigh the fact that Chicago can win the wooden spoon for almost 10 years straight, but still be there, type of thing.
I mean, are you telling me that? Are you asking me if I want pro rel in the United States? The answer, of course, is yes. But are you asking me if that is possible the way we've set this up the way it is right now?
Or frankly, even necessary to that point, but you can make the argument one way or another. I'm also with pro rel. I would like to have it, but I don't foresee it. I
don't see it, and we've said it before, until there are 48 MLS teams, and they create a 20-team Division 2.
Dude,
MLS
Lawless
2.
brought that up in response to a pro rel argument.
Yeah, but he's stealing from me. Because I put that video out, which by the way now has thousands of hits and views on YouTube, and I explained how that could work and how it was going to work. But back then we only had 20 teams, and so people were like, "Oh, you're an idiot! There's no way we're going to have any more than like 24 teams ever. You're such a dumbass." Well, dumbass, look who's the dumbass now. Like, they're going to keep adding teams, people. This is not going to end. I don't know if it's going to get to 48. But, I mean, if you got 48 teams, that pretty much covers all the major fucking markets in the United States for the most part. So then you can create an inner MLS, one MLS 2 sort of thing. Anyhow, I don't know if they're going to do that or just do a big 48-team league. But they want the $300 million. They want the buy-in fee. Believe me, they're going to continue to want that. And that is why MLS will continue to slowly grow. They're going to tell you, like they did 15 years ago, that, oh, no more than 20 teams ever. Never going to happen. They lie to you. But I had people inside MLS telling me that's a lie and knew it was a lie. They told me. I published articles on it, and everybody thought I was the bozo. Now who's the bozo? There you go. They're the bozos. Because, we ain't at 20 teams anymore, are we? No, we're not. All right, so I can deal with all these comments except for his sort of sanctimonious silver spoon bullshit at the end. Yeah. Andrew Visnowski, he kind of looks like a silver spoon son of a bitch, too. That whole fucking, the way his photo is kind of makes me like, he drives a fucking I don't know, BMW or a Mercedes.
Well, he's a lawyer. One would imagine that would be the bare minimum of a car you drive.
Yeah, and his balls don't smell. All the kinds of things those guys think. All right.
Chris Gary says his Portsmouth team was nearly liquidated, and the fans saved the club. That's a great story. Where's that in MLS? And of course, I could have gone the same route that a lot of the people who responded, saying the Columbus Crew, the save the crew.
BMR says, "You sure you're still not a bozo?" No, I'm not a bozo.
No bozo.
BMR, come on, be nice to me, man.
I was gonna jokingly say as the MLS version of this would have been the Mutiny, but they got liquidated.
Yes, but they got liquidated. That's how that happens. Or Chivas USA,
or the previous Miami team. Who's the other Miami team?
Miami Fusion.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Mutiny and the Fusion. Yeah, both got liquidated.
Yeah. Now BMR says it was a question. I know. I saw the question mark. I'm just answering.
You didn't put enough inflection on it. Are you listen, still a bozo?
It depends on what you think a bozo is, right? That's what it all comes down to. And that's a subjective take. Am I a clown? Yeah, I can be clownish, but it's usually on purpose for a purpose. All right, where are we going next?
While we're talking about MLS here, let's jump over to our good friend Larry.
Homegrown is utter shit besides a Fluke and Davies. Yedlin, who had an okay career but is washed up. And I'll even say Adams is a success. Most signings are NASL starters at best. Djordje is top 10 player, and it's been 15 years. I would need to go through a lot more homegrown signings than you've listed here to confidently agree that homegrown signings are horrible.
Yeah,
I don't have them all
I went through the list briefly, and yes, predominantly most homegrown players end up in USL or in ASL or in APSL, whatever.
Okay.
Even one. Obviously, the young ones that have just been signed the last year or two are still in MLS, and then there have been players. We've had homegrown players that have gone to England, EPL, and Championship. We've had homegrowns in Bundesliga. Now, mind you, those may have either ended up in Holland in the end or down in Bundesliga 2. We've had players in Serie A. We're now in Serie B.
Yeah.
Portugal. We've had people in Spain. So it's not like our homegrowns are absolutely utter shit. But I imagine that when you look at the other leagues around the world, take England, for example. Take how many players that Chelsea has in their academy.
Way
Chelsea's
too many.
a bad example. Well, no, Chelsea's a great example, actually. How many of those players actually make it to an EPL side in the end? Or how many end up fizzling down to the lower England leagues?
It's always just a handful.
Yeah. So
it's always a handful.
I guess my point to Larry here was, and I don't know if I mentioned it here. I think I said, true enough, the bulk don't pan out, but that's similar for other countries. We've had homegrowns in Holland, B1, Syria, Portugal, Mexico, Belgium, EPL. Some landed, some didn't. Some landed and did well. Others flamed out or were relegated. It's not perfect, but it's improving.
So, Larry, understand this. When you are signing a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, there is a large percentage of that. The dice that you are rolling are not going to come up the way you like them. It's a 15-year-old. It's a 16-year-old. They're not sure things. They're not Gio Reyna. Those are rare beasts, rare animals. So all homegrown stuff, even with Chelsea, even with Arsenal's academy, it's all a crapshoot for them too. Because most of the players that end up playing for Arsenal and Chelsea don't come from their fucking academy. That's just not how it works.
It's all due down to the challenges, right?
Well, yes. And then, okay, look at most U20 teams, World Cup teams, U20 World Cup teams around the world, whether it be Argentina, Brazil, Germany. Very few of those kids end up contributing to their national teams going down the line. And like the German kids, Most of them end up in Bundesliga 2 or 3. They never pan out. And that's what happens with 15, 16-year-old kids. It's really a crapshoot because it is. Because people develop differently. People have different maturity levels. People have different commitments to the game. Freddie Adu would rather go play his fucking video games all day. He didn't care.
Or sell vacuum cleaners.
Well, that was later. Yeah, look at Sebastian Soto. That's a good point, Chambers. Here's a kid who was so highly touted. We were shitting little deer pellets out in the grass because we're so afraid we're going to lose him.
Chili might bring him up.
But we told you at the time, hey, man, hold off on that. Let's not get all panicky and shit. It's not a big deal. We don't even know if this kid's going to pan out. I thought Zelalem was going to be, and it's my biggest error I've ever made. I really thought Zelalem was going to be the man. But guess what? He got a bunch of serious goddamn ACL and knee
injuries do that to you. Yep.
And he was done. He's done.
When you're reliant on your explosiveness and all the cuts and shit, you're toast.
Sometimes it's injuries. Sometimes the player's just not going to mature. They're just not going to become the player you thought they were. They may shine at 16 against 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds, but no, against grown men, they just never got there. So, Big Harry Jake, man, to be fair, if I'd had $5 million at 18, I'd be dead. Me too, dude. Me too. I would be dead. Seriously, I would. All right. I partied a lot. And I can't even imagine what I would have done with $5 million worth of partying. Okay. What do we got next?
Derek, the silly season is coming to an end.
Good.
It means that I can stop saying, Derek, but we have transfer rumors. But I'm going to start off with the transfer news more than a rumor. And this is one really well known. We've all talked about
I like news.
Yeah.
I just don't like someone's tracking so-and-so's hairy balls.
Keeping an eye on him. Yeah.
Keeping an eye on his fucking testicles.
It's been well documented that McKinney's heading off to Leeds on a 1 year loan, or not even a year loan, just a half a season loan here with the option to buy. And that option to buy is like 33 million or something like that.
Basically, the thing is, if they stay out of relegation, they're buying.
Yeah. More or less. So this isn't rumors, these are news, but this is Dispossessed posting a graphic from Weston's Instagram that he likes a lot. And I think it's pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to zoom out here.
Okay.
It's a cool graphic in the sense that you see him working his way up from FC Dallas to Schalke to Juve, and now he's at Leeds. It's just nothing special about it, but it's fun.
Hey, how about Lawless saying, and this has gone over really well with the Leeds fans that I follow, like Joe and the other guy, I can't remember his name. Oh, yeah, Weston McKinney, he's too big for Leeds. Dude, he ain't too big for Leeds. Leeds is a traditional, big, goddamn club in England.
It has that history that he was debating, what's his face with?
Yeah, I can never remember his name. Because he's got like a cute little nickname, like Coochie or Zeusy or Schmoosey. I can never remember that guy's name. Anyhow, I like him better than I like Lawless. I like him a lot. I'd have him on the show. Who's Lawless's sidekick? Somebody tell us. It's driving me nuts.
We ask this all the time.
Mossy. Thank you, Mossy. It's Mossy. Okay, so Mossy I like a lot. And now what was the point of this conversation? Why did we get to Mossy? Oh, we got to Mossy because Lawless has this take that's stupid. It's like, why would you say that? Now all the Leeds fans are fucking piling up on him. Like, where's he going to go? Is he going to go to Arsenal? You going to go to that shit show called Chelsea? Chelsea are in 10th. It's not like they're that much better off than Leeds are at this point. They are, but not that much better off. And they're in chaos. So where are you going to go? Aston Villa? No, he turned that shit down. All right, Colin, what you got? Derek, Why do you pretend like you know what you're talking about? Leeds sucks. I know they're not very good right now, but the signings that they have made with Roeder, Wolver, and McKennie, I think these are going to be good signings. Sinistera's back. He's healthy. All right. Juventus is 1,000 times better than Leeds. Yeah, but they're a fucking clown show, dude. They're just been hacked off a dozen points. I don't know what his future with Juve is going to be. I mean, it's not going to be in fucking Champions League next season. That's done with the 15 points hacked off.
That would require a perfect turn of events of them winning every game and everybody in front of them losing a lot of games.
It's not the point that Juventus a better team? Absolutely, they're a better team. But so is Arsenal. So is Chelsea. They've got a better team. But you know what? I think McKennie put it really clear today when he said, listen, the reason I came here was because Aronson's here, because Adams is here, and I've been talking with Jesse. I know all these guys, and I think I can integrate into this team. And by the way, he's not taking a big risk, because if they get relegated, he can go back to Juve. Yeah. Why you'd want to do that when they're going to be playing for no Champions League ball next year because of their incapability of following rules. But don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's where you jump the fucking shark, dude. I know what I'm talking about. I just have a different opinion. So
I will agree that Juventus made McKennie much better skill-wise, but I also think that Schalke made McKennie better skill-wise when he was with Schalke.
Sure.
And, I mean...
The Prem could make McKennie a better player going forward. It's a whole different level of play. It's faster. It's more physical. I mean, let's face it, Italian soccer is played at a different pace. And while it traditionally has been very
depends on which team you're focusing on, I guess.
Traditionally, it's been very good defensively, and goals are hard to come by. And traditionally, in Serie A, it's not so much the case anymore.
And I do want to mention, I enjoy watching Weston at Juventus. I'm a Juventus fan. I enjoy watching them there. I wish the team. I mean, oddly enough, the team got all the way up into second before he dropped all those points after such a precarious start. I like seeing him there. I like seeing him play well there. So I wasn't keen on him making a move, period. But if he's going to make a move, I wanted to make sure he's making a move to a team that he's going to play for. And I would hate for him to go immediately back to a team where he's going to ride pine and have to fight his way back in, which is still good and all. But I think he has what it takes. It's going to make Leeds better. Hopefully, I think so. But
well, then here we got Colin saying Italian soccer is better than English soccer. Based on what measurement? Because you can say that English soccer is too chaotic and full of hackers. And yeah, there's some hackers, mostly in the championship, not so much in the EPL, not as much in the EPL. I just don't find that to be a very accurate description of, listen, if the Italian league was so goddamn fantastic, why is the Italian team struggling to qualify for World Cup after World Cup after World Cup? They're having troubles. And we haven't seen an Italian powerhouse come out and challenge it, make any serious challenge. Maybe we might with Napoli going forward if they continue to play at this level. But no one's ever talking about reasonably that an Italian team's going to win the Champions League in the last how many seasons of Champions League? Really? Honestly, how many people talk about, Juventus, yeah, they got a real shot. AC Milan, real good shot at winning it. Now, listen, I know you were born and raised in Italy. And that might be coloring your opinion a little. That's fine. All right, what else we got?
Last transfer rumor, hopefully, of the silly season, seeing as we're at the end of it. And I know that you are already fully aware of this one coming out because you responded to it on Twitter.
Did I wipe afterwards?
Probably had to after this.
Coming out. All right. Derek will love this news. No, I won't. I hope it's not true, and I hope that Jedi stays at Fulham. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a Fulham fan, long-time Fulham supporter, and I would really not like to see this happen. But I also don't see how he fits into Pep's system. He's not a ticky-tacker, pecker-whacker kind of picky-pickle-puggle, pass guy. It's just not his thing. So unless Pep intends to use him in a different way, which is possible. Pep's not a moron. He knows, like, okay, this player actually doesn't thrive in that environment, but we're going to use him wide and fast, and we're going to have him break down the wings and cross balls in. But I don't really think he fits into the system very well. Is it me, bro?
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the fact that with Djordje being at Fulham, that they're competing for at least the Europa spot, which is always good to see. He's a consistent week in, week in player playing in one of the top leagues, if not arguably the top league. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if going to Man City, I guess the prestige of going to play for Man City might persuade him. But I mean, he's getting consistent playing time for one of the mid-top table teams, guaranteed.
I would have been more impressed if Pep would have announced, come out and said, "We're going after Tim Ream." I don't care if he's 35.
Can't play highline though.
But I said it before. He'd be playing for this team if he were 25. And you know what? We're gonna sign him, and we're gonna pretend he's 25. So there we go.
I just want to say, this is an awfully romantic embrace we got going on here in this picture. But I don't think that's the most romantic embrace I've seen these two in.
Well,
I have a nice photo.
Hold on, before you move on.
Well, it's not really moving on, but we're saying
it's really odd, this photo, because Jedi kind of looks like and then he looks like so it's
kind of looks like he's
weird.
like a little surprise, like he's in the moment of surprise, like what?
What's that? Is that a pencil, or are you happy to see me? All right, now you can move on.
All right, well here's the clip that I have of them in a more romantic scene. Son of a bitch. Here it is.
That's the worst. What is that? Is that a recorder?
Yes, of course it is.
Oh my God, that's awful. All right.
Man, it was beautiful, Derek. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I got the tears are welling up in my eyes. So who else we got here? I'm going through my notes, and I think we're ready to move on to the actual main topic, which was the meth.
Well, we still have a couple of Yanks abroad to talk about too.
Well, we could do that for sure. We got Weah, mostly ineffective against Nice, and then Booth versus Mihailovic. Yeah. And let's be honest, Booth stole the show.
Dude, he may not have gotten an assist or a goal on every single one of those 5 goals, but he was integral in creating all 5 of them.
4 out of the 5. Yes.
I think all 5. I'd have to go back and relook, but I thought it was all 5.
I think it'd be 4 out of 5. But Booth was just the bomb. And I was texting you, and you were not texting me back because you were jerking off or something, or giving the missus a back rub. But I was
pretty
like,
sure I was at a 4-hour Pinewood Derby competition.
Oh, okay. Well, what else you got to do but text? You could have watched that whole Pinewood Derby. So anyhow, I was texting. It was like Booth is fucking wall. Booth is dominating. Booth is this. Booth is that. I'm sure you're like, shut up about Booth. But I mean, honestly.
Well, it was funny because your text messages were kind of out of order. So like, you're like, it's 5-5. This is a great game. Djordje off at the 60th minute. I'm like, they scored 10 goals in 60 minutes? No, that's not accurate.
Well, they scored a lot of goals.
Put it that way. Goals, yeah.
It was a lot of back and forth. But I mean, listen, at this point, I'm putting Booth over Mihailovic. Although, to give credit to Mihailovic, he did get an assist. But and Booth has had a lot more time to integrate into his team and become sort of the star. Like the guys on Utrecht, when they get the ball, they're looking for Booth. They're like, where's Booth? We're getting him the ball because he's going to dribble past some motherfuckers and go down the wing.
I can't count on one hand, and maybe 2 hands, I guess. But how many times that he nutmegged somebody with his back to goal? Like he received and whoop.
Yep. He did a little flicky thing right through the legs. It was just amazing to watch. Whereas, to be fair to Mihailovic, his teammates do not pass him the ball. They do not pass him the ball. Watch the game and watch the game before. He gets scraps. He gets scraps at best.
He's got to work his way in. Booth was at Utrecht this time last year, though, right? Like he went over the winter season last year and barely played. And then this season obviously is different.
Yeah. I mean, and he's taken the long road here. So he was in Austria for a while. And but I mean, he has really found it as I know where he's like, well, I mean, I think Pete says, well, he's really kind of a 10. But since we don't play 10, I get it, John. Yes.
Seriously, go ask Lawless, is what he's saying.
I'm not going to ask him anything. But this was him playing against a fairly great or a very good top one of the, okay, you got Ajax, AZ, PSV, Feyenoord, whatever. Those teams are typically pretty good in Holland. Like that's where all the other teams go to steal players from them, right? Or buy those players from those teams. So I would say, Utrecht's not one of the better teams in Holland for sure, which makes this even more impressive because he was practically a one-man show for Utrecht. Not Utrecht, Utrecht. I think it was Utrecht, not Utrecht. But
American.
American.
That's a U.
It is a U. Utrecht.
Utrecht.
Utrecht. I don't know. I'm just saying it like an American would, so people can follow it. I guess that I shouldn't. I should probably say Bayern, München, and I should probably.
You do your best. You do your best to try to make sure you get every French team proper. Why not? Why not the Dutch? Come on.
That's true.
All right. Consistency. Only I can fuck the names up there. Come on.
I guess I'll be consistent from now on, but I don't call Bayern. I don't call them Bayern München, Bayern Munich. I call them Bayern Munich. Excuse me. Just because so Americans will know.
I was going to say 60% of Americans would be like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, Bayern München. What the fuck?
That's not how you say it. No.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll pronounce it Utrecht if you want in the future. I mean, I do pronounce Trois correctly, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I'm fairly inconsistent with what I decide to pronounce the correct way and what I don't. So I'll give you that.
If I recall correctly, I think Pot is our resident Dutch listener. I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah, and Dutch is not my specialty. I'll be really honest with you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but I thought that's who you were during the U.S.-Dutch game. I think you're the one in there. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Who knows? Fuck it.
Let's see. If Derek starts bragging about his German one more fucking time, mein good. What do you mean? I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I am admitting that I am fairly inconsistent about what I decide
somebody else
to pronounce correctly. Okay.
Because nope, I'm American, I think.
All right. And then we had LT Luca De La Torre getting another start and playing this is good news. Yes. This is really good news. And he's playing well in this game, a little more conservative, but overall, I'm impressed. I think he's going to continue to be a starter here. What are we on now? I speak American, not fake languages. I speak American. Yeah. Well, it's actually English, but yes, I get your point. Paredes got the scrap minutes at the end of the Wolfsburg game, but he did score.
And a goal. A really nice goal, too.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to break the lube out for, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign for Paredes. And maybe next spit. Yeah, that's cheap. You could wax that dolphin a little with some spit. All right, Ream and Jedi weren't used as far as I remember. And then Balogun had a last-minute goal for Lens over PSG or to tie PSG 1-1. Nice goal. Very nice goal. I do believe Balogun has a teammate named Foket, which it's Fouquet, I believe, in French, but
I'm pretty sure I'm with Lisa on this one. It's fuck it.
It looks like fuck it when you're looking at it. You're like, fuck it. And I'm like, no, he's French. It's probably Fouquet. All right. And then Musa is probably I don't know how much trouble he's going to be in because your homeboy got fired, Brett. Gattuso got fired.
Why is
So
he my homeboy?
I don't know.
It's an AC Milan guy, right? Yeah, no,
He is.
no,
True.
no.
He was
I
never-
dig the fire. You know,
Yeah.
he was spitting fire the entire time. That's cool.
I think I just took your Juventus fanship and just said, you love all Italians.
Italian.
But yeah, I liked Gattuso. I am really surprised by this firing, and I know Valencia are in slight trouble, and that they have the kind of squad that shouldn't be this low in the table. So I kind of get it, but I think it's not like emergency to me time yet for Valencia. I think you give them a few more games, and I think Gattuso turns this around. The question is how much will a change in manager really affect Musa? And I hope it does.
In fairness, though, Valencia is literally 1 point away from relegation.
I know.
I mean, I don't think they'll be contending, but still.
But they have the quality in the squad, and I guess maybe that's why he should be fired, because they should be better than this. They got better players, but they spend more. What's the Pulisic update on going to Milan? It doesn't look like it's going to happen because
this silly season now.
He's injured and nobody wants him yet.
I did read that his progress and recovery is quickly improving
ahead of schedule. But still, I mean, who goes out and loans out or buys an injured player? Not many teams do, because it's kind of risky. Because what if he's just injured for the whole rest of the season? You bring him on for a couple games and he gets re-injured. It's especially with Pulisic's history. Yeah. A risky guy to take anything out more than a loan, I would think, at this point. So Pepe scored for Groningen, but boy, they lost anyhow to Volendam. And Volendam is a team that if you are dropping down the Dutch table, you need to at least get a point out of, and they did not. Pepe missed a wide open header early in the game, just a wide open header. He made up for it a little later in the game with a goal.
Would have been nice to have both.
But yeah, he should have scored 2. Probably game should have been a tie. But it looked like when the cross surprised him. Like, oh shit, he's crossing it. And he got there late and he didn't get the right angle on the header. And yeah, unfortunate. Marlon Fossey plays again for Standard Liège, and I just have to admit I haven't really been paying much attention to Marlon Fossey, even though he's a Fulham kid. So I probably should do better. I did not watch the game. John Brooks had a rough start for Hoffenheim. Still looked pretty good in the back, though. I mean, his
distribution was top notch.
It's still good. Yeah, still good. It's just that it's his first game with a bunch of guys he's never played with before. So there's going to be some chaos there. Anonymity anymore says, wait, what the fuck is the Brett today?
I've been the Brett for almost a year now.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed.
I just go by one name. EPB 90 for Trois versus Lens, another tie. And again, it's like he's just consistent. He's a pretty good overall. He doesn't have a really massively horrible games, but again, not a superstar game either for him. Stefan in a 2-0 win versus Watford. Why are we even bringing up Stefan? Jesus, at this point.
I forgot he was still playing.
People forgot about him already. Jesus. Brooks is a lazy defender, says certified chat.
Slow. It's different.
No, I never really thought of him when he was at Wolfsburg as a lazy. Of course, they played a back three. You really had a choice.
Gladbach's second goal was just unfortunate. Brooks actually dispossessed the guy, kicked it off his own other defender, bounced right back to the Gladbach player who netted it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Oh, Christopher Ellie's late again. Hey, dude, you missed a lot. And maybe not a lot about soccer, but you missed some stuff. So you might want to start over again later on.
Afterwards, yeah. Finish this out.
We'll finish this out.
Take a note where you're at. We're at 100. We're at 1 hour and almost 10 minutes.
So that's players abroad, unless you got other ones. That's all I got.
No.
And by the way, I did go through U.S. soccer staff and board just to see how many of them were silver spoon motherfuckers. And it really isn't a whole lot. John Collins went to Chicago's law school, University of Chicago. JT Batson is a Stanford graduate. It's not too stinky, silver spoony. Now you get down and you got, these are the independent directors that are hired or brought onto the board. You got Juan Euro, who's from Columbia University, Lisa Carnoy's from Harvard. But then some of the bigger people on the board, and it had bigger influences. Don Garber, he graduated from some SUNY college in New York, like small time. Patty Hart, Illinois State. What? So it's not like this is, well, Jessica Berman, Fordham Law. Fordham is another sort of like lower level snooty college. And Garrison Mason, Dartmouth Law. So yeah, they got a good fair amount of these people there. And I'm not saying you have to get rid of all of them. I just think you need to have a balance. Do they have a balance? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. So what else we got? We got the game. The game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we say about this game?
I think you said it pretty well here.
I did say that, didn't I? It was late, and I'd been drinking quite a bit. But I said, ever show up to an orgy, but no one brought the lube, no one seemed to groove together, and half the folks were on meth, and the dude who organized it was unable to set the mood? Everyone ended up doing coke, and it turned into a spazzy mess that was difficult to watch. Oh. Okay, U.S. versus Colombia. All right, I did write that. I admit it. I wrote it, and yeah.
Like I said earlier on the show, I think the best way I described it was, well, that was a 90-minute game.
Yeah. No, but I think I think the ants thing is perfect too. Have you ever seen ants on an anthill? I mean, it's craziness. They're all spazzing out and shit and moving shit and picking up twigs and carrying slave ants from other colonies into the hole. And you're like, this looks like chaos. But it's not meant to be. Maybe there's something there that was going right, but it's just hard to tell because it looks like Spaz City. And the original title for this video was going to be what? It's hampered. The U.S. game is hampered by meth. But then we're like, we changed it to because we didn't want to get sued by implying that the players were on.
A matter of fact, yeah.
On meth while they were playing because they weren't, but they might as well have been because I've never seen such just mindless, senseless soccer in my life. I was so fucking bored. I had to put toothpicks in my eyes just to continue watching this.
Some tape, eye drops and everything.
It was so fucking embarrassingly bad on both sides. Colombia were horrible in the second half too. Hoppy was meh.
Yeah, Brian says Hoppy was meh. Some good moments, a lot of nothing going on. Okay, so I think Hoppy's biggest moment for me was the play where he opted not to shoot and decided to play it back to, was it Paxton?
Yes.
And then Paxton got his shot deflected. And I'm sitting there like, this is it? This is it? Why the fuck did you pass it?
Yeah. He's an Aronson. Aronsons don't score. Don't pass it to an Aronson.
Yeah,
they don't score.
Aronson had two chances that that were unfortunately blocked, of course, but yeah, it carried on with the don't score mentality of the Aronson language. Sorry, people are talking about language here again, so that's one reason I said language again. Like, is Derek's last name French? I knew that German stuff was horseshit.
Actually, my mother's last name is Wallrath. Wallrath. That's her actual name. Richie is, in fact, English. That's my dad's side, but he's half German too. So, I mean, there you go. All right. Here's the facts. The facts are that we played a lot of players who didn't need to be out there for starters.
Yes.
Can we just
look at our thumbnail?
Long, Zimmerman. I understand to some extent why Acosta might be in there.
So, okay, since we're talking about them, let's talk about Jesus, because U.S. men's national team Stan says he's not a 9. That's the tweet. I said the guy to the left of him is nearly 6 inches taller.
Yeah.
Of course,
Why is Hoppy not playing the 9?
Of course, I got a response by saying 6 inches is massive, by the way. I said, yeah, that's what my wife keeps telling me.
It depends. Is it a thick? Is it a thick 6? Or is it one of those little pencil 6s? Because that ain't doing it.
But yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, my point being is that, yeah, we know what we're getting with Ferrer. Why play him in a meaningless, you can't take much from the result game? What's the point? Why not play Hoppy in his
You called him
position?
up. You got to play him. You called him up, right? I agree.
You get him prepped and ready for the preseason.
We don't play a 10. So there's really no point in playing Ferreira and even bringing him to this camp. Since Dickhead, who's coaching the team, still won't get off of fucking Greg's sweaty nuts and play a different fucking setup because those guys that did the formation before the game had it as a 4-2-3-1. And I'm like, oh, yes, please let that be true. No, it was not true.
No,
it was not true.
No.
And it was so obvious.
I think Derek had control of their site for a second. Here we go. Forward.
Well, after about 5 strokes, I realized, no, dude, no. You're wasting your time. This is one of those porns that suddenly turns south and you're just not excited anymore. And I knew that. And so I said, listen, this is going to be a 4-3-3. And it
Derek was watching and he goes, wait, why is she strapping that on? Wait, no, change it quickly.
I like that part. So yeah, Paxton wasn't going to play as a CAM, nor was Ferreira. Like, what is this egregious issue we have? Why are we so allergic to a 10? I don't understand it. And if that doesn't change and it doesn't get fixed in U.S. soccer, then we are stupid.
Yep.
We are dumb because the best players we are fucking developing right now are attacking midfielders, CAMs. Reina.
And I will say that as much as I like the mentality of a player like Ariel, like his mentality of the game, after Cal's performance in the first match, I would have started him. Give him another look.
I don't need to see Areola.
Yeah,
he should have been on the team. He should have been on it.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of Areolas. I don't need to see this one. All right. I don't need to see this one. Leave him off the team. Oh, but he gets a trophy for just accepting the call up, is what I hear. Like, we should all just, oh, good job, Paul. Way to hang in there. You did get fucking reamed. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He should have been on that team. Fucking rolled on. Should have been not been on that team. Okay. Anyhow. So yeah, there isn't a lot of cheer about. And then you bring in Rodgers, like for the final 20 minutes or whatever the game, 20 minutes of the game. Why? What did he fly all the way in from Scandinavia for? And somebody asked me that question on Twitter. And I said, to get his junk measured. Because that's what they did. They're like,
you're probably not going to call the next window. You lied in your transfer here. You said 6. This is clearly 4.5.
I mean, you got Aaron Long by you got Aaron Long by an inch, but still, his name is long. His name's long, so people aren't going to. Yeah, he just came in. He just came in to get his cock measured. That's it. He played 20 minutes. There was no point for him to go to this camp.
Yeah,
it's just pitiful. And then they brought Neil in for 20. Sabi. Could a guy be worse than 25 minutes outside of Shaq Moore than Sabi was in that game? And I know in our write him off video, we'd already told you, don't bother wasting your time following Emmanuel Sabi anymore. He's done. Like, we called it. Now, if this doesn't convince you that, well, I called it because you weren't willing to be that mean. But
I'm the nice guy here.
I called you. I said, don't bother. Just write him off. And if this didn't prove to you that he needed to be written off, I don't know what will. I don't know what will, because he was broken. Like, absolutely the opposite. That wasn't even nervous. That was just bad play. Vasquez gets 30, but I'd rather see him play the whole game than see Ferreira anymore. Ferreira, it should not be on this team.
I'm sticking to the point that Hoppy should not have been playing out wide. Yeah, credit to him because he's able to be competitive at that wide position, but that's not his spot. He's not a winger.
How about you play a 4-2-2-2
Derek,
and play Hoppy and
Vasquez.
Vasquez up top together? How's that for an idea?
Agree, yes.
Be great, you know?
Yeah.
Vasquez. And you could have played Acosta and Aiden Morris together as the holding twos. Talk about how trash Sonora looked. I mean, he didn't look great. He looked better in the first game than he did in this second game.
I think everybody in that game just. Can we point out one person that really stood out, saying I really like that performance?
Looking. No.
I really can't. Sean Johnson. How about that? Can we give him credit? He was able to distribute the ball pretty damn well.
He probably shouldn't have been playing. I don't see the point of playing him. Why don't play your guy again? Why not play
Geiger? Why not play the other kid? What's
the other dude?
Like 21-year-old. Why not play him as well? I don't know.
Centenaro or something like that. I don't know. Tolkien, I will say
they're bringing him up. Yeah,
Tolkien was not horrific.
Nothing stood out.
No, Jones was okay at times, but then going forward, he looked like overly aggressive. He's spazzy. Bad passes. I mean, oh God, the whole game was just bad pass after bad pass after.
Yeah,
Salentano. Thank you. Yeah, I don't.
Is it the Cincy kid? Yeah. That's the IU goalkeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, I should know him, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
Oh wait, I haven't lived in Bloomington for a while now. All right, but I don't know how long Salentano. I don't go to IU soccer games.
Fair enough. Okay.
Even when I was in Bloomington, I didn't. Caden Clark looked better than anyone else, to be honest, despite his apparent lack of technical ability. I hate to break it to you, but Caden Clark did not play. And by the way,
for the U20s, he was amazing, I guess.
Caden Clark is not going anywhere. I'm not saying write Caden Clark off because we did not add him to the write him off list, but he's close. He's really close for me to just say.
How quickly you were on the write off of Cal, Busio, and Abello, I would have imagined.
I didn't write Cal off. I did not write Cal off completely. In the last video, I said I'm not ready to write Cal off. I don't think he's going to go to Everton, and I don't think he's going to be a European superstar, but he was the most impressive player in this window. Cal,
by far. Kate Cal. He meant Kate Cal. Had to be. Yeah. Cal
was the best player on this team in the last two games, and he didn't even get to play the second game. Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Because we have to see Pereira dick around some more. Areola fuck around.
We had no problem bagging on him on the U20, U23
because he wasn't good.
He was not good. And yes, I know he bagged a couple goals, but that was like the highlight of his time there. The rest of the 200 plus odd minutes or whatever it was that he probably played was like really mediocre at best. In the first match, he was fucking stellar. As far as this camp goes, I would like to see.
Well, he's the best player on the field.
Yeah,
for the
we'll put it that way. Yeah. Deserved a goal too.
Played very young, Jordan Morris-like in that first game. Even maybe with a little bit
before the knee injuries. We talked about this.
Yes, before the knee injury.
Yes.
So he's still there for me. And if you're asking me if a Jordan Morris before the injuries could play in the championship or the Bundesliga for somebody, I would say yes. So I do think that Kate Cowell can do the same if he plays like this.
Morris, having one knee injury, looked very serviceable in the championship, and then he got the second knee injury.
Yeah,
he wasn't bagging goals and assists by any means, but he was a very serviceable player in that couple of weeks that he was there.
I do agree with Farrell Mungus. We do need to give Tolkien a chance.
I don't have a problem with this. And
I'm not right.
The camp cupcakes are literally a chance just to see new players. But you can't take their performance. You have to take their performance with a massive grain of salt.
I wouldn't write off any of the players who got just an itty bitty amount of time or half a game or a little more than half a game and then had to play in this chaotic bullshit in the last game. Like, I'm not writing off Sonora yet. I'm not writing off Neil. I'm not writing off Rogers. I'm not writing
off Neil anyways.
I'm not writing any of those guys off because of what happened. But I am saying Gressel even though he got an assist, doesn't need to be there. I am saying Sabi should never have even made this team. I do think Vasquez should have played more.
Who?
I don't think Ferreira should have played a minute, nor should he have been called up to this roster. We know exactly what he is. Same thing for Areola. Hoppy, I'm glad he was here. He didn't get to play his position, center forward. So, I mean, you're just playing him at left wing. Fine. Okay. That's because you're so intent on playing this 4-3-3 Berhalter ball crap. And that's what we watched last night, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was Berhalter, not last night, during the game.
Window.
Yes, it was a Berhalter ball. Nothing changed. This guy had a chance to say, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit different because there ain't going to be a Berhalter anymore. But no.
Even if there's, maybe Hudson could persuade Berhalter to change it up a bit. And we talked about the 4-2-3-1 isn't even that drastic of a huge difference. I mean, It is a difference, but it offers opportunity. And the 4-3-3 is just plain and basic and predictable for the most part.
Yep. Long's gone to me. I don't know why he's on this team. Should have been there. If you're saying I need veterans, well, you got Zimmerman. You don't need Long. Why is he on the fucking roster? And why is he playing? I don't know. Jones is Jones. Jones is where he is at. He is not going to get much better at this point at his age.
We brought Neil in, a young center back. Wouldn't it also been nice to say bring Craig in?
Yes.
I thought Craig was the standout, one of the standouts of the U20 qualifiers.
And one of the best set piece kickers I've ever seen. Ever. I mean, the guy can hit a dime at 30 yards. No problem. I mean, really impressed by that. Andrew Farrell time, guys. Farrell also plays right back. Dude, Andrew Farrell is a little old at this point, and I don't think he's going to get a look. And you know he's not either, Colin. So let's not bring him up. It's not worth the discussion because it ain't happening. Look at the dudes they're calling up. You think they're going to call up Farrell? No.
Well,
they're not.
Taking a look at this window at this point, is the Camp Cupcake of old, the where we call in players who aren't necessarily getting called up to the national team, seniors consistently, a shot at the national team. Is this just an old setup that needs to go
outdated?
Dodo? Yeah. Should this just not be a U20, U23 camp called in, and you play against some big boys? You may get your taints pushed in, or you may impress.
You know, you mix this up with the U23s, and you do bring in the Tolkien guys and the guys in MLS that are new and fresh and doing something impressive. Otherwise, there is no point. Absolutely 0 point in playing players that you already know what they can do. And I was telling you before the game, because I think you asked me, why is this the lineup? I said, this guy just doesn't want to lose. This is getting personal for this manager because everybody's joking on him on Twitter that he's the losingest coach ever. Not only in MLS, but also now in fucking international. He's 0-1. Well, now he's 0-1-1. So maybe he saw the tweets and said, oh, I just want to win this game. So I'm going to play a bunch of veterans, Areola, Acosta, Long, Zimmerman. I'm going to play all my veterans in this Ferreira in this game so I can win it. So I don't look bad. That's not the point of this whole thing. Was to find out who the new guys were.
But our veterans in this game were two center backs that were consistently played throughout the qualifiers. Okay, sure. And a winger. Outside of that those were our veterans. I mean, I don't know. It's just
it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it. I mean, this is the point. My point being here is that you're playing, and everybody talks about they're like, oh, the Camp Cupcakes, the whole window's worthless because you're just gonna play like a C team from Europe or whatever, you know. It's always the same thing, or a CONCACAF team. Well, at that point, then just play your young kids. Give them a chance to play. And quite frankly, they would have just played a bunch of young kids from Serbia.
Yeah, because the Serbian team was quite young. Yeah, quite young.
So,
that's what I would have. To be fair,
I
had less problems with the first lineup versus Serbia. I thought, okay, I can live with
too, though. So.
I can live with Zimmerman being the vet in the back. That's fine because Neil's playing, and I want to see Neil. I want to, get I want to get a whiff of what this is, what the fragrance is with this player. So, but I don't know. I think we're done covering that. I did want to say, and if I see another commercial like this, and you see them all the time, it's just disgusting. So-and-so, this particular company, and I'm not going to name their names because I can't remember what company it was, but their whole commercial is about so-and-so, we offer the funds and monies or whatever. And then a gal comes up and said, a 5-year-old girl says, so I can be whatever I want to be. No, that's not how the world works. You don't get to be whatever you want to be. Do you want to be a unicorn? You don't get to be a unicorn. That's not how this works. If you want to be,
they're unicorn. They're people who are unicorns. I mean, there are people out there who are deer, Derek. They go out to the yard, they eat grass. This is a legit thing.
Doesn't make you a cow. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It doesn't make you a unicorn. It doesn't make you a cow. If she said, I want to be Chewbacca. You can't be him. First of all, he's not a real thing. You can't be whatever you want to be. Life has confinements. You are restricted by your skills and your abilities and your intelligence. And you can overcome some of those things, but you're never going to become Albert Einstein if you're not Albert Einstein. And by the way, Albert Einstein was a real person who's dead, so you can't be him. Be you. Be yourself. But you don't fool yourself that you can be whatever you want to be. And by the way, we don't even know if existence is about being. Maybe you are what you are, not what you're going to be, or maybe it's not about being at all. Maybe being is you're not a stone, like a stone exists, right?
Yeah.
It is a stone. But a person is an evolving thing that will die and not be anymore. But it's not a static thing. Existing is not a static environment. And so anyhow, you're not going to be whatever you want to be.
I want you to apologize to Robert right now.
Huh?
I want you to apologize to Robert.
Oh, okay. Well, you can self-identify, but you're not actually a unicorn is all I'm telling you.
Dan W. has a lot of friends that are unicorns, you bigot. Remember, your car was even calling you a bigot.
You can identify with it all you want, but doesn't mean that you are a unicorn, because unicorns aren't real, number one. And number two, you aren't actually a unicorn, because last time I probably checked, you didn't have a horn growing out of your skull. It's not really 101, because I don't want to get too deep. That'll bore the fuck out of people if I start talking about existentialism versus transcendentalism versus whether, we are like existence is a verb or not a verb. And I don't want to get into all that shit. We've done that before on this show. I'm not sure how many people it scared off. Not with that attitude, Derek.
You're never going to become a unicorn that way, Derek. Bailey brings up a fun talking point from a decade ago that ran rampant over big soccer. Sometimes you might just identify as a U20 or a U17 player. And you might not be U17.
Cameroon youth failed the H test on technicality. Not their fault. Their ID is a paper with IM12 written on it. Yeah. There's problems there. Kevin Paulette identifies as me.
Oh.
So let me see. Your back hurts. Your knees are shot.
Somebody said that you were faster than Brooks, though, when we were talking about Brooks.
I probably was at one point. Like when I was like 22, 23, I was very fast. I'm not fast anymore. I can tell you, I can barely get up and down stairs. It's not a pretty situation with these knees and this back.
They can't even make you grow hair. How do you think you're going to grow a horn? Come on.
Eric Fuentes, I thought this was a soccer show. Well, it was for large portions of the show.
For like the first hour and a half, yes.
Jesus Christ. Can we have some downtime, Eric? Do we need to continue to talk about the soccer stuff?
Well, that's not too far of a stretch, Eric Turd. Come on.
When do we get into Nietzsche? Probably not often or ever here. It's too controversial these days.
The Nietzsche guy right there?
Nietzsche. It's Nietzsche, Brad.
No, it's not Nietzsche. Nietzsche.
Well, we're not going to get an Nietzsche because that kind of that kind of philosophy at this point would probably get us into all kinds of deeper discussions. So
at various different corners too.
Whatever. Derek's back hurts because of what?
All the work he put into it during his youth. And I said, hold the corners.
No, my back hurts because I'm fat. I'm overweight. Probably about 20 pounds overweight. Because when I was 20 pounds lighter earlier last year, I did not have this pain. So I need to lose some weight and stop fucking eating lobster with butter every other night, which I don't, but I did have it twice this week.
Isn't that like 2/3 of what requires for a keto diet?
Yes,
butter.
True, but I don't.
Green?
Yeah, but the next day I had clams with spaghetti.
Well, that's just
not. It's just not a good mix. Plus, I have ice cream a lot too. I love ice cream. So at some point before my parents get back to Florida, and my mom and I go out and play golf, so they don't look at me when I come over for the first time for dinner and go, "Holy fuck!
So
what the hell happened?"
It's funny. It's funny because somebody at the very beginning of the show goes, "Whoa, Derek, are you losing weight? I can actually see your neck."
Yeah, I'm not so fat that you can't see my neck, but I know when I put on an extra 10 pounds because my back hurts right away. All right, I think we're going to be done tonight.
Handful of comments.
Okay, we gotta have. Okay, all right.
Handful.
Brett never lets the show end.
Never. We got 24 minutes, guys. Let's go.
Derek also puts butter in his water. That's gross. I do love butter though. Really do.
So the videos of people on like doing like the shorts or the Twitters, people who do keto that are just sitting there talking on a phone, eating a stick of butter for their snack. I'm just sitting there going like,
no,
gross.
No, that's gross. All right, Chris Gary says Berhalter out. We know that. Another crazy weekend in U.S. men's national team land. And once again, the game was the most boring and insignificant part of it. Good news, Derek. The bullshit transfer rumors will stop for a bit with the window closing. I hear PSG are monitoring Sebastian Soto's anus. I add at the end. All right.
This is just a goal for Terrence Boyd. Terrence Boyd, yeah.
For those in the States, his goals start around... Oh, okay. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Listen,
Berlin's pushing the Terrence Boyd thing.
Berlin, I think you're just barking up the wrong tree. I don't think he's got any hope. I think because of his age, number one, and I don't think anybody's paying attention.
No, that's the big problem. Nobody's paying attention. And Berlin brings up a good point. We're looking at players like Djordje. We're looking at players like Sargent, who are playing in the championship, but we're ignoring a player who's playing in Bundesliga 2 and then like top league goal scorer for Bundesliga 2.
No. Yeah.
So age plays a massive factor here, yes.
Yeah. I think everyone's forgotten about Terrence Boyd. Let's remember when he came to MLS, he wasn't exactly a hit. So, had he come to MLS and started like rocking the back of the net, maybe people would have started paying attention. So when he left, they would have kept their eyes on him. Yep. But they didn't, because when he came here, he's kind of a flop, unfortunately. So, Derek, on a scale of normal to AMC theaters, what does your sweat smell like?
From all the butter.
I try not to sweat, number one. But what does it smell like? I don't know. It's pretty neutral, actually, I'd say. Pretty neutral. What else is new? Says Kun, whatever.
Oh, we'll go back to his name in a second.
Alexi Law says some bullshit. We already covered that.
He did it again. Alexi Law says some stupid shit for the zillionth
time. Yeah, we covered his stupid comment today.
That was from here. Go.
If you missed it, cunt lips. Cunt lips.
Kunt lips.
Kunt lips.
Kunt lips.
That's a really good short one there.
Yeah.
That could be like a Middle African name, maybe something like that. All right.
So this looks like this is the interview.
It was a fun interview. I think it was fun that Adams was so serious or tried to stay so serious. And then McKinney's like, what are you?
Do you know who you're talking to here? But I guess Adams could have been playing the heel there. I mean, he knows McKinney's going to be goofing. So he's like, If we could say on par here, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
Yeah, he did play the straight role, so McKenny could clown around a little, but I like it when you got to watch this to believe it. But at one point, McKenny actually slips out of his mouth, "I'm coming here to be as big as possible. I mean, to play in the biggest games as possible." He slipped up.
Well played.
And he caught it too.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit."
Well played.
Because I don't know if you saw his physical, the photos from his physical. He's chunky, dude.
Oh no,
he's chunky.
He's moving around the field quite nicely, I think.
He's chunky. All right.
It would have been funnier if he came out and said, like, "I'm looking forward to eat some spotted dick."
They did talk about pudding. They did bring up food. So we make fun of Derek too much, says Anonymity anymore. I'm totally cool with it. The Brett, did those headphones come with your Walkman? That's a good one.
My actual headphones are broken. I spent $80 on a nice set of Bluetooth headphones. And sorry, I'm really just thinking about the comment. But I dropped them once, and they don't work anymore.
They broke.
I'm so pissed. So fucking pissed. $80 on the rig.
Chris Fairburn asked, any player interviews coming soon? No, we don't do those anymore.
That's not our shtick, No. We'll do former players.
Yep,
but
we do former players.
Do we do any former players?
No, we do former players. We had Jimmy on.
No. Sorry. I meant to say current players.
No, we don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it because they're not going to tell the truth. They're going to and they would feel really uncomfortable on this show. We used to do player interviews, but we don't do it anymore.
Well, not current players. I don't think we've ever had a current player on. We've had parents of current players. That didn't work out so well. We've had we've interviewed for our back in the day, the OLS days. OLS? It was OLS, right? One Love Soccer.
Yeah.
I had a great interview with Faf Apkul. That never happened. As the little guy turned me down. Like he's like, "Hey, we'll do it then." And then I'm like, "Okay, hello, are you there?"
Yeah.
No? Okay, sure. Okay, gotcha.
So we'll have former players on. I mean, I don't know if we'll have the same ones on we've had before. I don't think we're going to ask John O'Brien to come on again because we've already done that with him and he already told his story and he doesn't really follow soccer that closely anymore. So
it's a shame, man. We all of our we need to get more of our grades into actual coaching.
Yeah. But, we used to have a lot of great Bobby McMahon. We had some great guys on. When is Eric Winalda coming on? I don't know. Somebody was going to do some reaching out to help that happen, but hasn't happened yet. I don't know how he'd handle us. We'll see. When is Jimmy Conrad coming on? Pretty soon.
So we've got in the works. We're not really pressed for time to get people on though.
No,
but we've got Jimmy, we've got Meg, and we've got Simon Allen in the works. And that, a lot of the quote unquote
and Pete.
A lot of the in the works. Well, let's cut. I'm going to jump back real quick. The Pete, Tact, Jake, Sam, all of them. I'll send them the link anytime. I have a group on Twitter that I'll just say, hey guys, if anyone wants to jump on, here's a link. Haven't done it for a couple shows, but
Pete does that with us too. He saw me on his show and had me on.
No, I'm just saying it's an open door invitation for them. They can jump on anytime. If they want to jump on the show right now and bullshit for another 15 minutes, I'd be fine with that.
I don't think so. No, I won't.
Derek, it's only like 7:00 over in California, so I mean, Pete's game.
By the way, Kevin, we think Mega's the best too. I certainly do. I don't know Brett's married, so he can't say that. All right, so I think we're done. We don't really need anybody on. I think that's a good point, Bailey. We don't, because it does sometimes ruin things.
Kills our group sometimes.
Colin, I have not seen. Somebody sent me a list of everybody who bought the album. I did not see your name on there.
If I recall correctly, I think Colin said when it first came out that he bought the digital.
Oh, he got it digital.
Yeah,
okay.
He bought the digital. Colin, what do you think of it, man? I haven't actually. I know you said you bought the album, but I haven't heard you say anything about the album. I know Al Weinstein likes it a lot.
Yeah.
He had broadcast that everywhere. He's like, hey, if you like this, get this,
Yeah. No, thanks to Al for broadcasting it. And
appreciate that, Colin, for getting the digital too. I mean,
yeah, appreciate it, both of you guys.
Derek likes everybody who's a customer of his.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, anybody who likes my music. So Derek's trying to Riz Meg. I don't know what Riz means. What does that mean, Riz? Trying to Riz Meg? Is that like something that rhymes with Riz? Anyhow, I hope not, because that's not what I'm doing. I like Meg a lot, but I respect her opinion a lot. That's why we have her on the show. All right, guys, we love you. We love your support. Thank you for continuing to support the show. Yes, we are getting warnings from YouTube about our language.
Our current show is limited right now for monetization.
They've let us know. That's why. You guys keep cursing.
Well, I mean, it's tough, guys. It's tough. This has kind of become our shtick, No, it
is
sailor language is a thing.
It's who we are. It's not a shtick.
Well, okay, that's probably the bad term for that. Colin likes it. Should have released your music sooner. He did release it a lot sooner, actually. Like a decade and a half ago sooner.
Yeah, Colin, there are 3 albums before that one came out. So if you want to dig in there, they do exist. Just look up my name and the word Brando.
Derek just wasn't very popular until he met me and we did a podcast together. So
yeah, well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I was just a schmuck before this.
Yeah, this Derek indie guy, whatever.
So we're not going to watch our language because we feel like we'd be selling out.
Well,
the fact that YouTube are punishing us for this is ridiculous. The word fuck fucks us suddenly, like this horrible word that makes the sponsors not want to sponsor our show or put commercials on our show anymore.
I think Meth-like performance on our title probably doesn't help either.
Well, it's Meth-like. It's just jackassery the way this is working.
So,
I mean, for instance, how many comedians have who swear during their comedy show have commercials on their show? Well, we're not a straight up soccer show. We have fun. We laugh a lot. So maybe we should just be considered a comedy show, and maybe they'll take that off of
comedy
and quit.
Sports, yeah.
They keep hitting us with this fucking bad language thing, and it's just ridiculous.
We are NC-17, so watch us with your parents, I guess.
Yes. All right, guys, we love you. Make sure you share it with your mom, your grandma, and all your best friends. And we will be back on Thursday with another hard crotch punching show. Good night.
She's a trap, she's an unsung novel, turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on a line, or a phone call with or without wine.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Almost got there, Derek. Chris Carey for 199 says, screw algorithm. But
Peace
that's all,
out,
folks. Peace out.
Chris.